Hey guys, welcome back to ACR Falconry. We're just entering in the start of the season, so I thought I'd do a video today showing you kind of how I get ready for the season, the trapping season, and the things that I prepare and what I usually have on hand when I'm out trapping. So this year we decided to go with a red-tailed hawk. So let's go over some of the stuff that I like to bring with me when I go out trapping, and yeah, we'll show you how we go about doing that. Okay, so every year I get my BC trap out. This year I've done a couple modifications. Obviously I've added a GoPro. We're going to get you guys some cool up close and personal footage when we go out and use the BC trap. So some of the things I like to do every year with my BC trap is check and add new nooses. Make sure all your nooses are still working well. So for my nooses I use mono. I use 30-pound mono, and I tie all my nooses and then add them to the BC trap. So this trap's just set up with a little drop door that I screw on, so it's just plexiglass, so I can unscrew the one screw, put the mouse in, put the screw back in, and then the mouse is in there moving around. So just the size of how big my trap is. With the wood on it, it gets it heavy enough that the red tail won't be able to actually drag it away, which is handy. So yeah, we'll be using that in some upcoming videos, which is going to be cool. So stuff that I like to bring with me when I go out trapping: have a glove, not necessary, but it's good to have one on hand. I like to bring 2-size hoods just in case, depending on the size of the bird that you trap. I always like to have some sort of a towel. I use pillowcase, or even a t-shirt works well. So once the hawk hits the BC trap, you have something to approach with and quickly just drape it over to remove the stress from the situation. I like to bring a set of side cutters just in case nooses get a little too tight around the toes and you're having troubles getting them off. You can always give it a quick snip. Those are handy to have with you the whole time. And every year I like to make myself a new set of anklets and jesses. And I actually have a video of how I make those, and I'll throw a link to those up there, and you can check that video out if you want. And one more thing that I don't actually have here at the moment in the kit, which is handy if you're doing any like distance traveling while you're trapping, is to have a pantyhose. Sounds silly, but it works well. You cut the foot end off of the pantyhose, so you just got one long piece of pantyhose, and you can kind of use it like a tube to put it over the hawk. So once you put the hood on, you can put the pantyhose over the hawk to keep their wings in, so that if you're traveling, you can set the hawk there sort of beside you on the seat, and you don't have to worry about the hawk freaking out and, you know, trying to fly around in your vehicle. It works well. Otherwise, you could use, same with I use the pillowcase, so you can just do a light little wrap with the pillowcase and set it on the seat beside you, and it sort of does the same thing, but the pantyhose is definitely better. And the last thing you want to make sure you bring along is some kind of, I use a bowl. You could make a stand off your scale, but so you want to bring a scale and something to put. I use a bowl that you can put on top. That still allows me to see the screen. I tear it, and then you can just lay, once the hawk's obviously wrapped in something, you can lay it in there and get the hawk's weight. And then you just subtract whatever you had on the hawk after to figure out what the trap weight is. And also, which isn't in here, is your band. You want to make sure you have your leg band with you while you're out trapping. I don't have mine yet. I've ordered it. It should be here within this next few days. So until then, I am not trapping, but you want to make sure you have that with you. Those are some of the key items that you'd want to have with you when you go out using your BC trap. So I'm going to go over a few other traps that I use, and I'll go show you that here next. It's also the time for me to get my Swedish goshawk trap out and get it ready. This trap I only use in my backyard under a security camera, and only when I'm home will it be set, so that if something's happening with it, the security camera will send me a message so I can quickly run to the window and see what's going on. And if the trap triggers with a hawk, I can deal with it at that moment. But yeah, you should never leave these traps out in the forests where they're unsupervised. The hawk or whatever animal that actually gets trapped in it is stuck in there, and then it's obviously defenseless to coyotes and other animals that are going to come and try to attack it. Yeah, so I like to get this out at this time of the year. You want to make sure all your springs are in good shape, that you still got good tension on the trap itself, that all your meshing is still in good shape. Got a couple videos actually on how to build these and how to use them. You can check out those videos. But like I've said in the past, I like to put the nylon meshing on the inside, so I like to check it all out, make sure that there's no rips or tears through it. That's more protective to the bird's feathers when they're on the inside, so that the chicken wire, which is on the outside to keep predators from getting in, also it keeps the birds in because they can actually bust through this nylon. So having the chicken wire on the outside makes it a little bit stronger for when they're trying to escape. So yeah, you do that on the inside, and as I've said in the past, it's a solid bottom that you can put pigeons, you could use rats, work well, or even starlings depending on the species of hawk that you're trying to trap. But yeah, overall it's a good trap. They work well. Actually, most of my birds have come from using this trap. And this year I decided actually to build a ladder trap to try to get myself some starlings. So here in the next month or so, I start getting some pretty big migrations of starlings that come through our yard. So I'm anticipating them to show up again this year, and they usually litter my lawn. So this year I've built myself a ladder trap. And I'm gonna do a full video on this trap. Probably the next video that I do, I'll give you guys a full overview on the ladder trap, how it works, and basically how I built it. And I'll do a video on how to build one if you guys wanted to build one for yourselves. Starlings are an invasive species, and we're allowed to trap and feed them to hawks as much as you would like. So I'm gonna try to utilize that, and hopefully it works. This time of the year, I also like to get my giant hood out, get it all cleaned up, and get it ready for the season. So you've got your giant hood, and I actually have a full video on how I built my giant hood, and you guys can check that out on my channel. I'll throw a link just up there. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for me getting ready for the season. And yeah, so we're gonna start trapping here in the next few weeks. Season opener actually is in 2 days from now. So I'm gonna start trapping probably in about a week or so, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna get the traps out and we'll go for a red tail, and I'll take you guys along with me. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you on our next ACR Falconry adventure.